There's no doubt that this generation started off pretty badly for the Xbox. They had a console that was hard to make games for, hard to utilize, hard to optimize. It was less powerful than the competition. It cost more than the competition. You know, Microsoft was really in a bad spot, and now they've kind of come a long way. And now we have some even better news because they have completely turned things around. And not only have they taken what Sony had as an advantage early on and turned that around on Sony, but they've done so in a way that really makes Sony look bad in a lot of aspects, and this is one of those particular aspects. Now, don't get me wrong, Sony's going to be fine. I think the PlayStation 5 is going to be fine. Obviously, the PS4 is going to be, one of the best-selling consoles of all time. I'm not trying to take anything away from Sony. I'm just saying Microsoft has really stepped up their game and seems to be kind of on target for what they really, really want to do and accomplish with their vision for Xbox. And there's this article from a developer talking about just that, and I thought it'd be pretty cool to talk about it. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here, Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you guys for checking it out. I really appreciate it. I would also appreciate it if you guys could hit that like, share, and subscribe button because I would really appreciate it, and it also helps out the channel tremendously. Thank you guys so much for always rocking out with me. It definitely does mean a lot. So, Microsoft, hey, they're not perfect, but just from what I was talking about earlier, how difficult the Xbox One was to develop for, you had the ESRAM, all this terrible stuff. Like, it was like they totally did a 180 from what the 360 was, right? The 360 was the easier console to develop for. It was the developer's choice. And then you go into the Xbox One era, and I don't know what they were thinking. I'm not sure. But we're very close to the next generation of consoles, and when you go into the new generation, you're always looking for new experiences, which is pretty obvious. But there's also no doubt that porting over some older games to a new console has value as well. Not only does that make the game available to audiences who may not have played them before, these ports usually come with enhancements and new features. So a good kind of way to explain this is Shadow of the Colossus is a game that came out on PS2. From all intents and purposes, it didn't really sell that well. They remade it completely, and it came out on the PS4, and it ended up doing much, much better. But porting isn't always easy because it's not always a simple copy-paste job, especially when it comes to like some of the smaller developers. They say porting can be a pretty long process, and there was an interview with one of these small developers who has this interesting game, and he was talking about how being able to port games to the next-gen systems with more ease is one of the things that he wants to see most, and since this is something, according to him, that is very hard to do on PS4 and Xbox One due to the lack of proper porting documentation. He says porting games to consoles is always a difficult process with little documentation to help. I'm hoping the next generation of consoles makes it easier for indies. We spent hours sifting through forum posts looking for help with little results. A comprehensive porting document at launch would be great for developers like us. And then also, this guy was in another interview where he was talking about how the Xbox One X sort of changed that because Microsoft was able to include some of these things to help developers port games easier because obviously they want enhancements and things like that. So Microsoft has a way to port games over much easier than, say, Sony does at this particular point, and this really bodes well for the Xbox One Scarlet or whatever they're going to call it. I'm not really sure what they're going to call it, but it really bodes well for them. They've really turned things around, and it's really, really, just something fantastic, and Microsoft has really done a good job of turning things around. Now they have the easiest console to develop for. They're the ones helping out developers the most. And I would love your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. So let me know what you guys think. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. As always, thanks for watching. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer, out.